Welcome to OState Daily. Man, it was a great weekend in Norman for the Cowgirls. There were home runs galore, great pitching. Everything was timely, and the Cowgirls came out of the series winning 2 out of 3. First series that OU has lost since I think Oklahoma became a state in Norman. So, hey, it was a great weekend, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, where do we even start? I mean, I got to think about, okay, which players do we highlight this week? All of them. I mean, literally, it was a true team effort this weekend.
Claire Tim hits a home run to tie the game in Game 2, and then they go back to back. Her and Michaela Wark, and then they take the lead there, and then just kind of take the whole environment over. I mean, that stadium's incredible. Hey, I hate OU. Nobody hates OU more than I do. I hate to give them credit for anything, but I got to give them credit for that stadium because that is an unreal environment. Hey, take notes, OSU. That's what it looks like. That's what big-time college softball looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great environment. One of the things that we talked about before was, the youth of OSU. How would that, how would they perform in an environment like that? And obviously, they made themselves right at home. You could tell from the get-go they were not, the environment wasn't too big for them.
Yeah, Cardi Godwin in the first game, she has the double and the home run. She's one of the premier freshman hitters in all of America. So, hey, whenever you get in an environment like this, in a series like this, your dudes, of course, in this case, it's females, but, there's a saying your dudes have to be dudes, right? Well, no doubt about it. The dudes were dudes for Oklahoma State this weekend. Lexi Kilfoyl was very good. Ivy Rosenberry absolutely came through. The Cowgirls stole, I think, 3 innings in that first game from Kyra Aycock. She did what she was supposed to do there. And then just everybody came through, from Carly Godwin to Jillian Poulard had a big home run. Obviously, Caroline Wong had a big home run as well. Claire Tim. I mean, just all the way up and down the lineup. And then, the great defense as well. So, I mean, like you said, it was a total team effort. That's what you have to beat OU.
Yeah, exactly. And starting with the Friday game, if you would have told me that we would commit 3 errors, we would walk 8 batters, and Caroline Wong would kind of have an off day at the plate, I'd have said OU would have won by, they'd have run rule us. But as you mentioned before, Kyra Aycock came in and gave us 3 good innings. I felt like we were just teetering on the brink of disaster there for, any split second OU's going to get a hold of one. But, one of the things that she did a great job of is, yes, we did give up walks, but she didn't make any mistake pitches over the middle of the plate. That's one of the things I talk with young pitchers about, that, if you make a mistake and you miss off the plate by a foot, it's just a ball. You make a mistake over the middle of the plate, and now we got a problem. So one of the things that I felt like, at least in the first 2 games, OU got a few hits yesterday, but in the first 2 games, OU really wasn't able to square one up on us. And like you mentioned before, Ivy Rosenberry, my gosh, I mean, I don't know the full nature of her injury, and I don't want to speculate, but it's obvious she's pitching through some amount of pain. She was just absolutely magnificent on Saturday. Can't say enough about her. Kenny Gajewski was saying he's never been more proud of a player in his time here, which I think says a lot. He's had a lot of good players. But, the other thing that struck me was Poulard when she came up on Saturday. When she hit that home run, she, on the day, was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and had gotten down to an 0-2 count, worked it back to a 2-2, and then just got a good pitch that she could lift up into the outfield. And at first, when she hit it, I'm thinking, hey, at least we're going to get a run. We'll get a sack fly or something. And all of a sudden, the ball just kept carrying. And sure enough, we got a 3-run homer. And that was kind of the backbreaker.
Did you like how the pitching set up? Did you like how Coach Gajewski started with Aycock and then used Kilfoyl in both the 2 middle games, and then didn't go to Kilfoyl in the last day? What were your thoughts of the pitching rotation?
I'll be honest with you. I was shocked that we started with Aycock on Friday night. That you and I had talked about it, that we knew that we were probably going to need her to eat up some innings somewhere. I just didn't expect it to be the first ones.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest. But she did a good job. She kept us in it for 2-3 innings. And then we're able to get the bats going. The one thing I was kind of surprised at is, we hit the ball very well this weekend, but yet again, we didn't start fast. It seems like we're almost kind of like a freight train. We got to takes us a couple innings to get going, but then once it gets going, boy, you better look out, because boy, we're swinging the sticks.
Yeah, and the long ball was obviously huge, but the Cowgirls executed too, so it was good. It wasn't just there were a lot of home runs, but it wasn't just the home run.
Yeah, no, we had, even at the game yesterday that we lost, we were getting base runners on just about every other inning. I mean, it wasn't, it wasn't like we just got a few lucky hits and were able to score some runs. This was, we hit the ball very, very well all weekend. But going back to the pitching, the thing that I think that is so great about OSU is we got Aycock that can come in and eat us some innings when we need to. Rosenberry, her velocity is phenomenal. She's mixing pitches really well. And then Kilfoyl, I think in my opinion right now, and I know I'm slightly biased, but how do you pick? Is there any other pitcher in the country you'd rather have in the circle right now than Lexi
I'd
Kilfoyl?
rather have her than Maxwell, I'll say that.
Yep.
That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
That's okay to say, right?
How am I going to do this?
Hey, I can't get fired from my own site, right?
Yeah. And I think and speaking of the Maxwell thing, I think our players and our coaching staff and everybody, they handled that situation professionally, which is what I would hope for them to do. I know that was not. I'm sure there were probably more emotions going on than what they would let on, but they handled it professionally. They did a good job, and basically they did all they needed to do: just go down there and win 2 games. That was the goal, and they accomplished it. So,
hey, the transfer portal is what it is. You want to leave Oklahoma State and go to OU, that's your prerogative. And hey, I don't have anything against you from that aspect, other than now you're on the other team that I really want to beat, and you just added a lot of extra incentive to that Oklahoma State Cowgirl team that's already really good. Trust me. Hey, and like you said, in a very professional way, and of course we have fun with it. And these are young kids, and they make their own decisions. But the decision you make is the decision you make. There are repercussions and ramifications to every decision you make. The repercussion for Kelly Maxwell is she had a bunch of charged Cowgirls that really just wanted to go out and extra motivated to beat her on those days. It was personal. Make no mistake about it. As professional as the players were, as professional as Coach Gajewski was, when she moved to OU, that made it personal right then and there.
Yeah. I mean, it's, and I think the thing that I've said the whole time about the Maxwell situation is, your transfer portal is what it is. She is free to make her decision as she wants. I just read, we got a football player that transferred from OU up here, and that's, okay, great. I think the thing that either she did or she didn't think about is 10 years from now, they're going to have an alumni night, and it's going to be really difficult for you to come back. But at the same time, it was her call to make, and she made it. But boy, I sure am. I'm not going to lie. I was cheering a little extra more for the Cowgirls this weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just again, it's your choice to make. You're free to make it. Nothing against you. But there are ramifications to it, and the ramifications are now that there's extra motivation to beat you. Okay, so kind of staying with the pitching, I felt like we talked about last week, hey, maybe do you throw Kilfoyl in that second game to at least get one win out of the series to guarantee that one win, or at least more so guaranteed to it. I really felt like the way they set it up, they hedged all of their bets. So it's kind of that high school philosophy to where if you have 2 pitchers, then you throw your best pitcher the last 4 innings, because then you tell your kids, hey, all we need to do is be tied, like going into the 4th inning. We got our dude coming in, and we're going to win. Advantage to us. Let's get through the first 3 innings. Let's be within striking distance, and then Kilfoyl's going to come in, shut it down. We're going to win that game, and then that also gives you your best combination to win the game in the second game as well. So I thought Coach Gajewski, he gave themselves the best chance to win 2 games in a row, and it came through like spades.
Yeah, one of the things that he talked about in his post game, and I thought I kind of thought this as the game was going on, that basically Carrie Everly had to convince him to pitch it the way that they did. And because I'm sure when she went to Kenny and said, all right, I want to start Kyra Friday night. Mm-hmm. First pitch we throw against OU is a young gun, But to Kyra's credit, she battled in there. Like I said, she did not have the best control of her pitches, but the main thing, like I said before, she did not make any mistake pitches over the middle. And it's almost kind of backwards sometimes, because OU's hitters, they're good hitters. They're looking for a ball to hit. They never go up there looking for a walk. every now and then you might be able to get them suckered into a pitch that they think they can hit that really that's not exactly where they wanted it, which we had a number of those things. She was able to get a few ground outs, get a few pop outs, just, you made contact, but they never actually got a hold of one.
Right. And then also on Sunday, I've heard this quite a bit. Hey, why didn't you finish with Lexi Kilfoyl? That is, in my opinion, you may disagree with this, and this comes from a long career of coaching and being on the umpiring side and also playing and all that. That was 1,000% the correct decision. And here's why, in my opinion. First of all, you'd already won the series, right? Second of all, you're already going to host a regional. Third of all, by going to OU and doing what you did to OU and Texas, you're also going to host a super regional. I think those are slam dunks by the time you'd won the game Saturday, unless all else fails, which has nothing to do with the Sunday game as far as from here on out, then you're going to do all of those things. You won the series against OU. You won the series against Texas. You're going to host a regional. You're going to host a super regional. So what do you gain by bringing Lexi Kilfoyl other than winning one more game against OU? Yeah, saying you're going to sweep. That would be fun. But we saw with Brian Holiday, when he was throwing those 120 pitches early in the season, maybe a little bit of a dead arm period here in the middle of the season, so now not quite as effective as he was earlier. And if this Cowgirl team wants to make the College World Series, if they want to win a national title, they can't do it without Lexi Kilfoyl being at the top of her game. So it wasn't worth risking the extra wear and tear on her arm just to win one more game that's actually not going to advance your cause towards anything big picture for the future.
Yeah, no, I on that one, I completely agree with you 100% on that, because I was thinking the same thing, because Texas just absolutely destroyed Texas Tech yesterday. So there was we were not playing for a regular season conference title or anything like that. Basically now it's one, we need to get everybody rested and healthy to get ready for the postseason, because when the schedule's out now for the Big 12 tournament, and I believe we start with BYU, and then we're pretty much, let's just be honest, we're going to get to see OU again. So yeah. I think the main thing at this point is we really need to, at whatever can be done to try to help Ivy Rosenberry to become healthy. Let's rest Kilfoyl. Let's keep Kyra. If I was Kyra, I'd keep pitching. I keep throwing bullpens every day if I was her, just to keep getting those reps, get the touchdown like you want it. But no, I completely agree. I think you went down there, you accomplished your goal. There was nothing else to really go after. Now we need to get ready for postseason.
It felt like OSU's offensive lineup was a little bit longer. It had a little bit more link to it. And when I say that, it's just like, hey, everybody on this team contributes. It doesn't matter what inning, what part of the lineup you're in. This team can strike at any given time. It felt like Oklahoma State's lineup was a little longer than OU's from that aspect.
Yeah, I agree. The top of OU's lineup is very, very good. They've got several hitters who are hitting over 400. I mean, they're very, very talented. But as you said before, I mean, you go down to OSU, you look at 7 and 8 hole, they can still hit.
Yeah.
There's not really a rough spot in the lineup where OSU can't get something generated on offense. And like we said before, the thing that I love about this team is it's somebody new every single day. It was the Carly Godwin show on Friday. Then Pular came in on Saturday. Caroline Wong got a hold of one. Michaela Wark, Claire Tim's been hitting the ball really well. I'll tell you the thing I noticed with her is if you try to throw an off speed on the inside corner and she's able to turn on it, see ya.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Wasn't it fun hearing all those OU fans too? I mean, they were so jazzed up, and then about 10 different times, like we'd get an out or we'd hit a home run, and that crowd went from just being so jazzed to, oh, that was just so fun to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, because like I said, it came down to a number of big moments.
Yeah,
it just
big moments.
I had an athlete tell me once, they said that it was actually more fun silencing the visiting crowd than it was necessarily getting your home crowd jacked up. That just, it's funny how that works sometimes.
It was a fun weekend. Give us some things that maybe surprised you that you didn't see coming this last weekend, and things that didn't surprise you, and overall final thoughts.
I think the thing that surprised me, and it was definitely in a good way, is because we all know how good OU has been for a very, very long time. We know their seniors they've got down there are very, very talented. I think the thing that I was pleasantly surprised with is it wasn't, we had spoken before about, well, okay, we'll try to keep it close enough, and then maybe if we get a bounce score our way, we might be able to win. That wasn't the case. We were flat out the better team this weekend. We
were,
and I don't think anybody would argue that. So that was really, really good to see. And I think the other thing, looking forward with that is, this game is all about getting hot at the right time. This team is really starting to look good at the exact right time that we need them to. I think looking forward, one of the things Coach G talked about, and he's right, we've got to clean things up on defense. We're still making way too many errors on defense. But those things can be corrected. Those things can be cleaned up. I think looking forward, we just got to continue to swing the bats as we have been. I think looking forward, I don't think we need to do anything different than what we've been doing. I think that'd be my message to the team, is just keep doing what you're doing. It's working. We've got a good ball club. Just keep doing what we're doing, and I think we're going to have a lot of postseason success.
Knock on wood. This is a team that stayed healthy for the biggest part of it too. That's why they've had so much depth.
Yeah. That's always the X factor that sometimes you look at with teams, is you can have a team that is the most talented, that has the most depth, but you're one or two injuries away from having issues. So no, I think use the time that we've got. I don't think we play again until Thursday, so we've got a little bit of time here. Let's get rested up. Let's get ready to go, because we're probably going to face OU again. Hopefully we get past that one and we face Texas again, and then let's get ready for the tournament.
All right, Scott. Hey, this has been a whole lot of fun to have. These are the fun ones to do, right? The ones after you have a really exciting, fun weekend against OU. You go down to Norman, you beat OU in a series that I think it was like 2009 or something is the exact number. The exact year that they actually lost a home series. Maybe it was in conference. Don't exactly quote me on that, but it's been something ridiculous like that. So this was no small feat. Having said that, it is just another feat on the road to the final goal, which is the College World Series and eventually a national title. So, Scott, thank you so much for joining. It's been a lot of fun.
Sounds good. Go Pokes, and let's go get them in the Big 12 tournament.